I got a 4.5 GPA in high school and graduated from my dream college in 2011. I was on top of the world. Then, I was unemployed for a year, living at home with my parents, on food stamps, and depressed. This wasn't supposed to happen, and I think a lot of millennials can relate. That's when I realized what I should have learned in school: how to make and manage money.
I think a lot of people feel that the education system did fail them, especially for millennials.
Thriving in today's world demands more than a college degree. Experts say you've got to be savvier than ever at making money and managing risk. Now high schools are trying to better prepare Gen Z for the real world.
This one decision to sacrifice a couple Starbucks on the weekends and every day morning that we walk in here can make you a millionaire by the time you retire.
The number of states requiring students to take a semester of personal finance has doubled in the last 3 years, from 5 to 11. 7 out of 10 public high school students have access to a full semester of personal finance as an elective or graduation requirement.
Oh, no more Starbucks. No more Starbucks. Gotta save up for my car.
I really want to invest now. Your money is working for you.
When I was like 8 or 9, my mom went bankrupt. Like learning about all this now, we could have avoided that.
I don't think geometry is gonna make me a millionaire, to be honest.
Savings accounts don't have as much payoff in comparison to investing accounts.
To be quite honest, I was terrible with money. The 2 months that I was working, I spent almost $3,000.
Then Rhyan Diaz began taking personal finance at Canyon High School. He's learning about saving, debt, investing, careers, and more. Now Diaz budgets meticulously. He's saving for college and a down payment on a house.
So I don't have to struggle as much. Seeing my family struggle in certain areas.
Diaz is one of more than 4,700 seniors who has taken or is currently taking personal finance in the William Hart School District in Southern California since the first class launched at Canyon High in 2015.
Those first 2 credit cards are now getting paid off in less than 4 years, where before it was taking us more than 25.
Following in Canyon High's lead, all 9 high schools in the district at the time began offering a semester-long personal finance course by 2018.
I think we would pay off some of the debt with our remaining money.
What happened here is a model for how personal finance education is spreading at a grassroots level, even when it's not required by the state.
The money she saves from not paying for cable, she can use to pay off the MasterCard.
In the 2020 to 2021 school year, only 2 out of 10 public high school students in the US were required to take a full semester of personal finance. That number dropped to 1 in 14 for schools with 75% or more Black and Brown students. Students in California have even less access. Less than 1% of students were required to take a semester of personal finance. More than half learned personal finance as part of another course, usually for just a few weeks in an economics class. That's why former Canyon High teacher Kim Arnold and local personal finance enthusiast Brenda Heater took matters into their own hands.
How many of you really feel like we're going to take this information and you guys are going to be millionaires?
Concerned for her students' futures, Arnold persuaded the district to let her start a personal finance class. The problem was, she says there was no money in the budget to fund the course. That's when Arnold was introduced to Heater, who donated the $2,000 necessary for the curriculum and textbooks.
Rumors spread fast. Students were having a great time in class. They took the information back to their parents.
I'm teaching my parents about saving. Sometimes my mom goes on shopping sprees on Amazon.
When I first got a credit card, I was spending it a lot, and then my dad kind of got mad at me, and now I kind of tuck it away in the back of my wallet. I don't use it except for gas. I was probably spending at least $30-40 on food each day. And now I'm spending like $50 a week probably.
Their parents started talking to their friends, and their friends started asking each other, well, why doesn't my son or daughter have this at this school? And we started getting calls almost every single day or weekly.
Funding classes at the district's 8 other high schools was a team effort. But if Yaneli Espinal has it her way, the top-down change she's pushing for will move things along more quickly. The 32-year-old is an Ivy League graduate. Her immigrant parents saw her as their ticket to a better life. But Espinal found herself living paycheck to paycheck, just like her parents, who never completed elementary school. That's when she began learning how to pay off her tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt.
I was like, oh my goodness, there are some very simple steps and strategies. How come no one ever told me that? And for me, that was really what lit the flame to champion personal finance education.
Now Espinal meets with politicians, lobbyists, and community members to advocate for legislation requiring students to learn personal finance.
So the difference would be how much he made in interest.
She played a major role in Florida passing a bill in March 2022.
Having this bill become law is an incredible success.
Espinal is concentrating her efforts in states where there's momentum. In early April 2022, about 20 states are considering more than 40 bills promoting personal finance education.
We're creating a wave, right, of action and motion across the country. I think it creates a little bit of FOMO, right, fear of missing out. It's like, oh man, all these other states are making progress towards this.
Millennials like Espinal are helping future generations adapt to the new world we live in.
She invests in the U.S. stock market through an index fund.
When we graduated, a lot of millennials felt betrayed. That's what I told the students I visited at Canyon High School. All I was taught about how to be successful is to get good grades and go to a great college. The real world was basically a huge slap in the face. We went into a lot of debt, only to find that college doesn't guarantee the American dream. For one, life has gotten a lot more expensive than it was for our parents and grandparents. Wage growth in the last 40 years has been negligible, lagging far behind inflation. The costs of housing, a college education, and healthcare have skyrocketed. I earn more money than each of my parents did in their 30s and 40s. But no way can I afford the house they bought for about $250,000 in 1997. Plus, I got a lot of saving to do for retirement. In the past, companies funded employee pensions, guaranteeing workers an income in retirement. Pensions are now rare. They've been replaced by defined contribution plans like 401ks, which are almost entirely funded by you. According to Fidelity, I should have about $180,000 in retirement savings in 3 years. Let's just say I'm not even close. And I'm not alone. In a 2021 survey of more than 3,000 Americans, 70% of millennials live paycheck to paycheck. Not only do we need to make more money, we also need to take more precautions to avoid losing our money. I graduated from college in 2011 into an economy recovering after the 2008 recession. Unemployment in the US was hovering around 9%. Then the pandemic dealt us another blow. And because of how interdependent the global economy is, everyone feels the effects of crises around the world.
Oil prices going up because of something happening in one country strike us here at the pumps as well.
Experts say a lack of financial literacy played a role in the 2008 recession. A lot of people defaulted on risky mortgages they didn't completely understand.
There are more opportunities to make financial mistakes now than there were in the past.
That's because your options for different financial products have exploded. And now that trading stocks is free and as easy as downloading an app on your phone, inexperienced people can take big risks on things like cryptocurrency and options. Still, changing the education system is far from easy.
So it's $100 per month and then 40 years?
Status quo is a very powerful thing when it comes to public education policy.
I've always wondered, how come I never learned about money, but spent years studying things I never used once in my adult life? The answer, I'm told, is because I was trying to get into UCLA, which recommends 4 years of high school math. Experts say high schools are in the business of preparing students for college, traditionally the surest path to the American dream.
Schools' funding is based on their attendance, so they want to make sure that they attract students to their schools. And at the high school level, that means providing lots of AP courses versus thinking about how can we, as a public education system, prepare students for the rest of their lives?
Gross income is $40,000.
Personal finance also faces competition from other subjects vying to establish a permanent place in the school curriculum. And when you require a new course, something else often has got to go because there just aren't enough hours in the school day. Then you've got backlash.
There's already people that have a vested interest in it. You're rolling the boulder uphill.
Requiring a new class would also be costly. For example, California will soon require students to take a semester of ethnic studies. The state estimates it could cost more than $270 million each year. Still, Wilkes says the cost of personal finance education would be worth it.
So at year 20, your $10,000 is already at $96,000.
Then it's likely less students will struggle as much as I did after graduating college. If I were financially literate much earlier, I believe I would have succeeded in my career a lot faster, and that I'd have a lot less anxiety about the future. But my struggles also shaped my career by fueling my passion for financial journalism, which at its core is about empowering people to thrive and pursue their dreams.